Well, you've already said to us you're off camera, you're delighted with that performance and result this afternoon. You must be, so reiterate that, that's an excellent result for us.
Yeah, you know, knowing the few injury issues we had coming into the game, one or two played out there today that were struggling, but you know, to watch Brad Pearce come in for his debut, obviously we've seen him in training and I've watched him in the Surrey Senior Cup game and he's impressed me. It was great to give him his debut. It's one of those today that not many people would have fancied us, I don't think, to have got a result. But not only did we get the result, I thought we played some really good stuff as well at times, 2 good goals. Just a disappointment would be the manner of how we gave Fylde their 2 goals. But I'm sure the 80-odd Sutton United supporters here today have seen another committed performance. Similar to Braintree, we've come from behind twice. And as I said, you know, it just shows the character and the determination in the dressing room.
Conditions made it a little bit of a game of 2 halves, didn't it? Yeah,
big wind here, so we actually decided to defend against it in the first half, so we knew that it would be tough. So to go 1-0 down, but it's more the manner we went 1-0 down, giving the ball away cheaply and to let that go through on goal. Good finish from Bondo when it's come back to him. But we said at half time we felt we were well in the game. It was important not to concede the second goal, but I thought we dominated the whole of the second half and got our deserved equaliser. Then we gave away another sloppy goal, sloppy pass, bang bang, good finish from the lad though. And then, you know, obviously Kieran's come on and...
first touch?
Yeah, first touch, great management substitution. But he's got that in his locker. That's the disappointment so far with Kieran, is we know that we see him in training every day scoring those goals, but up to now, you know, he hasn't. I think he's come on today, scored that and nearly scored the winner with a minute to go with another volley. So technically Kieran's a very, very good player and he shows that in the technique of the goal. You
mentioned Bradley coming in. It gave Charlie Clough a licence to go up, gave you a chance to put Charlie Clough up front as well.
Listen, there's some debate as to why we're playing Charlie Clough up there, but you know, ultimately we know what we're doing. I think after 12 years, Clough wins a lot of the ball, and when you've got a quick lad like a Santi or McQueen coming off of him, I think again, especially away from home, you need to have a presence where you can actually retain the football. And you know, we've got every confidence in Charlie. He can play as a centre forward.
Kenny Davis back in the side today.
Again, you know, people. You know, we've been missing Bolanara for really most of the season. The reason that Bolanara has been in and out is when he comes in, he struggles almost instantly. So we've now literally given him a month's rest, and he's now had scans and all sorts done. So
what's the issue with that?
Groin hip, and you know we expect to see Tom back. The best Tom's been is at Hartlepool this season when he was fit. So, you know, in essence, our wide men haven't been available or done well this year. Dan Wishart hadn't done well for us. Bolly had not done well in the games he'd played, but there's more of a reason for that. So we've been searching for, you know, for some answers really. Obviously McQueen can play out wide as well. That was another thought behind the, you know, bringing Darren in. But ultimately, you know, we've lost Tommy Wright, who would have got us 15, 20 goals. Bolanara's not been really with us most of the season and not contributed enough. Dan Wishart didn't contribute enough, and when you start to look at, you know, those contributing factors, you know, I think that the team that can keep putting out week in, week out, you know, get 2 goals, Braintree get 2 goals today, you know, I think we should be proud of them. I think the season's always going to be maybe a reset season as well. The reason I say that is, you know, we haven't and we can't go and get a Rooney or a Gaffney or a Danny Rowe, who's an exceptional player. So sometimes you're in a different buying area, you know, more us the bargain basement area, and really you need a bit of luck sometimes for that type of signing for it to come good. But losing Tommy, as I say, was a massive blow to the whole club because he was getting better and better. So, you know, we need to stick together, which we always will do in the dressing room. I think the fans need to stick together, which again, the 80 that travelled here today, brilliant support. And you know, we need to back what's going on, because it's going to be it could be a tough end to the season, or tough getting through the season, you know, with the squad numbers we've got.
But having got to 2-2, we were on the front foot at the end and could almost have grabbed it. Charlie went very close.
There's 2 chances. I think Cloughie's had a chance, and then Kieran's had the volley, which I think the keeper saved. You think he might have been blocked by the defender, but nevertheless, you know, again from the free kicks and corners we had, you know, we're chucking people up to try and get the winner. But ultimately, I think a draw's the right result. I thought first half, again, through 3 or 4 errors on our part. You know, it's us who was putting them in. Jamie Butler's had to make 2 or 3 exceptional saves, and so it was very important to only keep it to 1-0, because I think we'd have struggled if it had got to 2. And they've shown before here. You know, they beat Tranmere 6s and 7s and Aldershot 6s and 7s, and they're a team that can, on their day, absolutely, you know, destroy you. We had a good shape about us not to allow that to happen.
And just on the injury front, talk about Tom Buller and Dean Beckwith, the other one who's been missing for a while.
Yeah, so up to today, which is where Brad got his debut, really up till Thursday, we thought Dean was going to be fit, which would have been Beckwith and Jamie Collins together with Charlie up front. And unfortunately, Dean felt his hamstring again, not disastrous, but it was enough to put him out of the game. And then you've got the decision: do you put Cloughie back to centre half and play Duns, who's again, he's 38, he's played Saturday and Tuesday and would have struggled, I think, 3 games in a week. Or do you show a bit of confidence in the young kid? And I decided to pick the young one and leave Cloughie up, and it's certainly paid off for lots of reasons.
It's vindicated, and there's a lot of pleasure as well amongst the supporters and everyone to play like that. Well, you heard him singing. He's one of our own.
Yeah, he's come through the club ranks, and I'd say that Crosley at right back is the next one that I'd be more than prepared to give that chance to. As long as people, and I've got to say this, I think that especially on Facebook and the forum, that it was Aaron Drinan and Jonah Ayunga that were getting knocked constantly, and it affected their confidence. Drinan went back to Ipswich on as much as our request as his, because he felt, that he was being got at, and he was. And the same with Jonah. Jonah took a lot of personal abuse on these different forums. I don't understand them, Tony, but that's and what people have got to realise is that, unfortunately, especially young players, they read it all. And it's all right being a keyboard warrior and putting all the comments on their different social media platforms, but we're the most available people to ever come and speak to. People want to ask me why I've stuck Cloughie up top, and I can easily explain it to them. I'm happy to do so, but leave the young players alone. What if Brad Pearce had a horror show today? What does that mean? Everyone's going to jump down his throat? So, as I said, people's opinions, it don't make one shred of difference to me, but it does make a shred of difference to the young players that are watching it. And it's not just our club, it's every club. But in particular, people say, why did Jonah Ayunga go out on loan? Was to go and get a bit of confidence. I think they had 1 goal in 10 games, and people were starting to get him, especially after the Slough replay game when he wasn't very good. Let's be honest, he wasn't very good. But if people listen to what I've been saying, the young players will flit in and out of good form. And you either back the young players and let them progress, or you get on their backs. And unfortunately, Drinan and Ayunga, I think with their goals drying up, their confidence dried up, but it didn't help, what was being said to them. So really pleased for Jonah. People go, oh, he went to Havant. I wanted him to go to Havant and score goals. That's the whole point. Jonah Ayunga is a massive part of my plans. But I needed to give him a month's breather away from the negativity, and bring him back, in that period of month to 3 months, to bring him back to the club. And he'll be a good player for us, Jonah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Paul. Good result today, and thanks for talking.
Cheers, Tony.